So how's it going, my Comic Chat Army? We're here today with Richard Dueck, the writer of The Road of Bones. Let's see, Happy Hill. What else?
Sea of Sorrows, The Ocean Will Take Us. That's a new one. And yeah, a bunch of other stuff. Did some stuff for Marvel and DC recently too. I did Wastelanders, Star-Lord for Marvel and for DC. Just a couple of shorts, but one of them was in Superman Red and Blue last year. It's pretty awesome.
How did you get to working with the big two and both of them? Like, a lot of people just would love to work at one, but you worked at both. How did that happen?
Yeah, I mean, took a while. I mean, I've been like writing comics for about like probably going on like 10 years now. I started out like self-publishing, then managed to get a couple of series picked up by IDW, new one by Aftershock, and just like, you know, over the years, I would go to conventions and try to meet with editors and just keep sending my stuff in to the ones that I made connections with. So you know, it was like a process because, you know, even with somebody that I've had, like, you know, like one person at Marvel and one editor at DC that I had like really good, you know, kind of like rapport with. Like, I'd see them at conventions, we would talk, we would get along. You know, I'd send them my work. I knew that they were reading it because we would talk about it. And even then, it still took a while because, you know, it's like, you know, it's like trying to move into like the Major League Baseball from like the minor leagues. You know what I mean? It's like there's only like so many slots that they have open, and there's a ton of people that want to do that, and you know, by and large, most of them are like really talented. So, you know, it's not like I'm like head and shoulders above like anybody else that like wants to do it and is publishing their own books and you know, and hasn't made it yet. It's just that like we're talking like with the guy I knew at DC, he's since moved on, but I mean, like, I had known him for a good like 5-6 years before even getting like a short story assignment. So, you know, it's a grind, but it was just kind of like just consistently putting out work and showing it to people, and, you know, then the right opportunity just came along. So it's good.
All right. Do you have any more stories coming from DC or Marvel?
You know, talking about a couple of things that nothing I can really kind of divulge, I guess, but yeah, you know, like keeping the lines open. You know, I wish there was more, but there should be a couple of things like coming out hopefully this year or next. We'll see.
All right. So when you do announce something that may or may not be coming out, where would that be?
Usually on my Twitter, which is at rdueck. My last name's Douek. Pretty much anywhere. Like, that's my name on Instagram too. It's rdueck. But yeah, I usually announce it there. I mean, stuff like that usually gets announced on, like, you know, like various like comic websites. Sometimes it's on like CBR, sometimes it's on The Beat or whatever. But you know, wherever you kind of get your comics news. But like, if you want to hear it straight from me, you can get it at my Twitter.
All right. So Happy Hill, I know that's your current book that you have out now. Did you just do a Kickstarter for that?
Yeah, we've actually been kickstarting it issue by issue. So we did the issue 1 Kickstarter, I think it was back in November. And we just finish the issue 2 Kickstarter last month, and we're going to be launching the one for issue 3 in a couple of weeks. The reason we're doing that is because we have like a lot of people who support us, like, you know, mainly through Kickstarter. It's not like, you know, they don't like, not necessarily folks that like go to comic shops like every week and stuff. So, you know, if we were just going to put the book out only in shops, like there would be no way for all those people to get it, and we don't want to leave them, you know, with no way. So, so yeah, you know, but they've been doing really well. Like, you know, issue 1 got like funded really quickly. People seem to really dig the idea. It's a horror story kind of set in a one of the, like an upstate New York like resort, I guess you would call it. Okay. So it's like you know, it's like a vacation resort where the idea is that if you go on vacation there, you're going to leave happy, 100% guaranteed. And it's the sort of question is, what are you willing to sacrifice or give up to achieve that happiness? So it's a lot of fun. It's like kind of like horror comedy. Like, you know, we have some like crazy horror visuals, but also working in as many laughs as we can. So it's good.
Okay. Road of Bones. What's that one about?
Road of Bones came out a couple of years ago. That's about it's about these 3 prisoners in the Russian Gulag in 1953, I think it was set. So so there are these 3 guys. They're in this prison camp in Siberia, and they hatch an escape plan. So they escape out into the tundra, and kind of like as they're going, they realize that they're not really going to have enough food to make it. And one of the guys kind of overhears the other 2 talking and realizes that the only reason they invited him along is because they were planning to kill him and eat him along the way. So so then he's got to survive that. And then there's also some kind of like supernatural shenanigans going on, because there's this creature that's kind of with him along the way that he thinks is kind of like his guardian angel, but we're not really sure whether it's real or whether it's just like, you know, he's going crazy slowly. So it's fun. It's really gnarly. It's like if you like kind of like blood and cannibalism and stuff like that, it'd be a great book for you.
Is it issues or is it collected in a trade?
Well, yeah, it's collected in a trade. Like it came out in issues, and you might still be able to find some like on eBay or something, but it's in trade and it's in comic stores, because IDW published it in 2019, and then we did CSROs with them like last year. Actually, no, CSROs came out in, it was like half in 2020, half in 2021. And then the trade was supposed to come out last year, but it got delayed, so that didn't come out until February this year. But CSRs is kind of like another horror story in the same vein, where it's like set in like a historical setting. CSRs is set post World War One. You have like this like salvage crew going after a sunken U-boat that's supposedly full of gold, and then at the bottom of the ocean they encounter a creature that you know, basically kind of stalks the crew. And so it's kind of got this like little like a vibe of like The Thing or like Alien or something, where it's like, you know, they're kind of trapped on this ship in the middle of the ocean and something's trying to kill them. So it's a lot of fun too.
I like it. Where do you get your inspiration to write your stories?
You know, I mean, like all over the place. I mean, you know, a lot of it is kind of like, you know, even if you don't really consciously plan it, like a lot of like stuff from my own life, like kind of seeps in there, you know, like things that I'm thinking about, or things that not like events or something, like, you know, like not like specific events, but I know like, you know, when I had like started having like, you know, my kids and stuff, like, you know, I can like kind of look at the stuff that I was writing around that time, and then like, and just kind of see like, oh yeah, well, that kind of like fear and uncertainty about like, you know, becoming like a dad kind of seeped into these stories, you know, that I was writing around that time. So I mean, that's kind of like the, you know, the, I guess, theme part of it, like as far as like the ideas of like, you know, like a setting or an idea like that stuff is just sort of, I think, comes a lot from just like what I take in, like, you know, like movies I've loved and comic books I've read and stuff, and like it all just kind of goes into a blender and
Okay. So since you're a family man, have you put your kids or wrote your kids into any of your comics?
No, and part of that is because a lot of my comics are horror comics. I don't want to put
Very true. Yeah.
kids in horror comics, but yeah, you know, I mean, like I've written stuff. You know, not everything is horror, and I've written stuff, a couple of things here and there that like, you know, they're not like in, but you know, I think it's like stuff that they could like appreciate and definitely like you know, enjoy reading, even if it's not like you know, specifically like all ages, like kind of kiddie stuff. I mean, like I remember, you know, like when I was a kid, like I was like 9, 10 years old reading like comics, and they were like fairly mature comics, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't, I mean, I'm not saying like, I'm saying like, you know, like reading like Marvel and DC stuff, like when I was a kid, like a lot of kids my age, and you know, it wasn't like it wasn't like the sanitized version of like, you know, like the Super Friends on TV, where it's like, you know, like there was like, you know, there was like love, romance, people getting killed, and you know, like heady story plots about like the universe and stuff like that. And I think, you know, I'm glad that I encountered that, because I think it kind of broadened my horizons about like, you know, just like stories I could take in where it wasn't like, you know, sort of like sanitized for me because I was a kid. So
okay. And when you did the Marvel and DC, did you go there, or is this all digital? Was y'all just trading emails back and forth?
yeah, it's all pretty much, I mean, especially with like you know, like all the like pandemic stuff going on, like that's been like moved a lot of stuff that might have even been like in person is like digital now. But yeah, it's like emails, couple of phone calls, you know, here and there. But yeah, pretty much all remotely.
So did they give you a check that had the Marvel logo on it or the DC logo?
No, I got direct deposit. Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to have like a check to kind of frame on the wall or something, but we'll see. Maybe I can hook that up next time or something. But
yeah,
yeah,
that'd be cool. So did they give you free reign, or did you have like guidelines when you wrote these characters?
No. I mean, there's guidelines. Like the stuff I did for both would happen to be kind of like out of continuity stories, so that was like immediately like much freer than if I was writing something that was, you know, in the in like the current like continuity. Like, so I didn't really have to worry about like when I was writing Superman, like, oh, like Lex Luthor is like dead now, you can't write him, or like, you know, Brainiac is a robot, or what, you know what I mean? Like
Right.
like when you're writing kind of in continuity stuff, it's like you have to like worry about all that stuff, and I really didn't, which was cool. But at the same time, like there were like, you know, certain guidelines in terms of like, you know, what you can show, what you can't show, like, you know, what characters are available to use and not, and what, you know, stuff like that. So, but you know, you work that out beforehand, like with the with the editor. It's like, basically both times I just sort of gave a rough idea of what I was thinking about doing, and we talked about it. And so there weren't any like kind of surprises where like, I turned in the script and then like came back to me saying like, you can't do that or whatever. So it was cool.
I'm gonna try to find a copy of number 3. I know I got number 1, but I don't have the other 2.
Mm.
Did you only do issue 3?
For which?
Superman black and white, or black and blue?
I did. It was red and blue. It was in my story was in issue number 4. So yeah, if you could find a copy issue number 4, mine is like I think it's the last story in the book there. But I think it also just came out in like hardcover or trade as well. So like, they just put them all together. So
all right. Comic-Cons or book signings? Do you have any plans in the next couple of months?
Yeah, I'm actually doing a signing tomorrow at my local shop up here in New Jersey. It's called East Side Mags. It's in Montclair. I'm good friends with Jeff, the owner. So doing a signing, and it's not the first one that I've done in a while. I did one in at Third Eye Comics down in Baltimore, Maryland, back in like February. That was for Happy Hill. And yeah, it was cool. Like, a bunch of people came out. Like, I'm hoping a bunch of people are going to come out tomorrow. In terms of cons, I'm definitely going to do New York Comic Con because I live really close. Planning on going out to San Diego as well, but I don't know if I don't know if I'm going to have a table there or if I'm just going to do kind of like signings like at the publisher booths and stuff like that.
Okay.
But yeah, so those are like the 2 that I'm definitely hitting up, and I think like just as time goes on, like see, I'm probably gonna get more into it and do a few more shows. If not this year, then definitely next year.
How close are you to the Secret Stash?
Secret Stash is, I think it's like 40 minutes away, maybe an hour away.
Right.
I don't know. They're kind of like south, like they're not South Jersey, but like I'm like further north in Jersey than they are. So
Okay.
So it's just like yeah, I think it's like probably about like 45 minutes.
Okay.
Down
Do
to
you have
Red Bank.
any? Yeah, I've never been in New Jersey. I want to go sometime. What was I going to say? Damn it. I lost my train of thought. Website. Do you have a website?
Yeah, I do. It's again, not a surprise to anybody that follows me on Twitter, but it's rdueck.com. And yeah, what you'll find there, you can kind of take a look at the work. You got links on like where to get it. I also have a newsletter that I send out. And if you sign up for the newsletter, what I do there is I talk about like the stuff I have coming out and maybe give like a little bit in-depth kind of talks about how I came up with stuff or what I was thinking. And I try to give like, I have a lot of like creators that are signed up. So I talk about like writing and business stuff from time to time too. I try to get it out every 2 weeks. I'm not always able to because I got juggling doing comics and my day job and family and all that stuff. So, but I do the best I can and try to get out at least like once a month for folks.
Are you on Instagram by chance?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram, also at rdueck. Pretty much if you see rdueck somewhere, more than likely it's me. But not a lot of it's out there. But yeah, I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram. I think on Facebook, I think it's Rich Dueck. I have like an author page there. But I think like Twitter is the easiest one to catch me on. I'm on that the most just because it's a lot easier for me to just sort of write out something that art. I have to wait from artists that I'm working with to send me art before I can post it. But I am on Instagram, and I do post there. So
Okay. Is there anything you want to say before we go, Rich?
no, just
Rich?
thank you for Rich. Yeah, thank you
Okay.
for having me on. It was great talking to you. If you're looking for my most current stuff, Happy Hill is out. Issue two just came out. You should be able to find it at your shop. And then also there's a book called The Ocean Will Take Us that I just put out through Aftershock that just came out last Wednesday. So keep an eye out for that one as well.
Can they get Happy Hill at their local comic shop?
You should be able to. I mean, if they don't have it, you should be able to order it through your store.
Okay.
I don't know the code off the top of my head, but it is in the Diamond catalog, so it does have like an order code. If you go to Comics Tribe, the publisher, comicstribe.com, they should have that info, or like at least somebody could ask to like get that info. But we're also, like I said, we're going to be starting up a new Kickstarter. I think it's going to launch next week for issue 3. And if you're on board for issue 3 and you want to get the earlier ones, you can get it on the Kickstarter as well.
All right. Thank you, Rich, for being. Thank you, Rich, for taking the time to come talk with us, and thank you for being my 150th interview.
I'm honored. Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, cool.
What? You mean you haven't subscribed to Comicchatauthority? Oh, come on. Subscribe already. What are you waiting for? It's no big deal. Like, man, don't forget to tell him to hit that like button. Yeah, that too. Just subscribe.